Many of you might have heard about the shooting of a Black woman by Louisville police officers. They're calling this sleeping while Black. Oh, I hate these stories. Y'all, I hate these damn stories. I really, truly do. I really, really deeply hate these stories. But we know these things happen in America. And, it's getting to the point where I'm wondering if these are not random acts at all. This is NPR, May 13th, 2020. Sleeping while Black, Louisville police kill unarmed Black woman. Ooh, I'm sick of these stories. Attorney for the family of Breonna Taylor called her shooting death by Louisville police an execution. Taylor was asleep in her apartment in March when police burst into her home to serve a warrant. The case is gaining national attention, and this week, civil rights and personal injury attorney Benjamin Crump. Oh, Lord. I wish these people would not hire this man. Get a different attorney. Announced he had been hired by Taylor's family. Crump has represented the families of other Black shooting victims, including Trayvon Martin and Ahmaud Arbery, whose alleged shooters in Georgia were arrested last week after a video of the February incident became public. Like Taylor, Martin, and Arbery, the unarmed when they were shot and killed. Yeah, they sure were. Crump called Arbery's murder a lynching. On Wednesday, he called Taylor's death an execution. You can't walk while Black. With Ahmaud, you can't jog while Black. Driving while Black, Crump said during his news conference. But Breonna Taylor was sleeping while Black in the sanctity of her own home. Oh man. My goodness. He is representing Taylor's mother, Tamika Palmer, in a lawsuit against 3 Louisville Metro Police Department officers that was filed last month in Louisville. Local attorney Sam Arger and Lynetta Baker are also representing Palmer. Breonna Taylor was shot at least 8 times by the officer's gunfire and died as a result. Breonna had posed no threat to the officers and did nothing to deserve to die at their hands, reads the complaint, which was filed in court. Okay. They are asking for a jury trial as well as, so they want, of course, compensation, punitive damage. I don't blame them, but we know that doesn't bring her back. Jessie Halliday, a spokeswoman for LMPD, said in an email that an internal investigation into the case is ongoing and declined to comment further. First of all, that's one thing I've always been opposed to. There is no way a police department should be investigating themselves. We have seen what the outcome of these investigations are. For all of these people out here that always say that Black people are always guilty in these unarmed shootings, what's going to be your excuse now? This is a hell of a mistake. How do you mistakenly kill a sleeping person? Taylor, a certified emergency medical technician, so she was an EMT, and her boyfriend, Kenneth Walker, were asleep when police arrived at her home around 1 a.m. on March 13th to serve a warrant, according to Walker's attorney, Rob Edgar, in court documents. When they entered, Walker, believing them to be an intruder, according to his attorney, fired a shot that hit an officer in the leg. The officer had surgery soon after recovered. Three police officers shot back and struck Taylor 8 times, killing her. Edgar said in a court document that he believed the officers fired at least 22 bullets. Now, here's my question. If the boyfriend shot because he thought they were intruders, did they ever announce that they were police officers? Or did they just barge in as we have seen them do in other cases? Okay, it leads me to believe they did not announce that they were officers if that guy had a gun and he fired at them and they just barged in there. And we have heard many stories like that where these cops barge into someone's home or they're at the home unannounced that they're even police officers. Okay, because it don't sound like they did just from just reading this part. The three police officers shot back and struck Taylor 8 times, killing her. So they're saying they fired a total of 22 rounds, at least 22 bullets. They were placed on administrative reassignment while under investigation. No one has been charged in Taylor's death. There was no footage of the incident. Yeah, so it's easy for these cops to make up a lie. You know, if you have a warrant, that should have been announced at the door. And they should have announced that they were police officers. But I'm telling y'all, it sounds like none of that happened. You know, when they're dealing with us, it's anything goes. You know, the laws and the rules go out the window. Police said officers in this unit don't wear body cameras. Listen to that, y'all. That's probably why they didn't follow any type of procedure because they knew nothing was gonna be recorded. Now, why are officers in this unit not wearing body cameras? What's the reason for that? I mean, did they even have uniforms on? You know, it's a lot of things going through my mind right now. Whether the officers identified themselves before forcing entry is a matter of dispute. Oh, of course it is. These officers can deny everything. Nothing was recorded. It's really very convenient, isn't it? With LMPD saying they did and Egger saying they did not. See, this is what it's coming down to. And I promise you, they're going to believe the officers. We know how this whole thing is going to play out. Walker was charged with attempted murder of a police officer and assault in the first degree. Okay, who was the warrant for? They still haven't gotten to that part. Who was the warrant for? Okay, so no drugs were found at the apartment, according to Walker's father in an affidavit. So they didn't find any drugs in the apartment. In late March, Walker was released to home incarceration, a move that drew criticism from LMPD chief Steve Conrad and the police union. Well, please. You went in there and killed a woman that's sleeping and you got the nerve to criticize something. You need to be criticizing those cops. That's where the police union and the chief criticism needs to be on. Taylor's mother and her attorney still have questions about the facts of the case. They said officers obtained a no-knock warrant, which doesn't fit with the police claim that the officers identified themselves before entering. And they said police had already arrested the preliminary target of the narcotics investigation by the time this group got to Taylor's home. Okay. Give me a break. It seems to me that they're just trying to cover their tracks from one day, and every single time they keep saying things that conflicts with the former things. And it really just looked like they were so desperate to cover this case up. And it's why getting the truth in this case is so important. Taylor's story spread across social media and news in recent days after being shared by activist Sean King. Oh, Sean King, huh? A Kentucky native. Since then, politicians on the local and national stages have weighed in. Okay. Wow, my heart goes out to this woman and her family, Breonna Taylor. There is no reason for this woman to be dead. And I'm not surprised that the cops are given different accounts and their stories are inconsistent, because this is normally how policing is done in America. Whenever they do something screwy, they got to lie and cover up and make stuff up. And you'll see one thing on the video and they'll tell you a whole different story. And see, this shit is acceptable in America among the police forces. It's acceptable. And again, why do you have a police unit out here and they don't have on a body camera? So you know what this tells me? This police unit is probably doing a lot of dirt out here. And they know they can lie their way through anything. They don't have to wear any body cameras or have any evidence like that. To me, if you serve a warrant on anybody, there should be some kind of recording of it. It makes no sense that it isn't. Wow. I mean, I'm thinking now, if they didn't have a body camera on, was the police cars, the units they were in, did they have a camera? This whole thing is so messed up. So messed up. Wow. This poor woman. I feel so bad for her. She didn't know what the hell was coming. Gonna kill this woman like that. Oh, I'm so sick of this mess. Y'all, please tell me what you think. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.